Welcome back to the channel. So today we will be solving this famous SQL scenario-based interview question. So basically this problem I have solved in PySpark also. You can find the link in the description section. You can check out the PySpark solution of the same problem. So the problem is here we have been given one single table with a single column. The name of the column is celebrity name, and here we have some names of the celebrity. And in the output table, if you see, we need four different columns, that is celebrity name. So this directly come from the input table. And we have three different more columns, the first name, middle name, and the last name. Okay. Yeah. So we need to find the output with these four different columns. So let's process record by record. So if you see here, basically in the first record, we have the Virat Kohli. So what we need to do, we need to pick up each and every record from here and create a three different columns. Then columns would be the first name, middle name, and the last name. So here if you see, like there is possibility that we can have all three, that is middle name, first name, middle name, and the last name. That's the case over here with the name of the Sri Narendra Modi, Narendra Damodardas Modi. There is possibility that we can have only two things, that is the first name and the last name, and there is possibility that we only have the first name. So these are the three possible cases in which like people enters their name, right? And the convention that which we follow is we first write the first name and then middle name and the last name, right? So how we can solve this problem? So like let's understand how this output table is getting generated. So if you see, this is the index one. So in SQL, basically the indexing start from the one. Indexing starts from one, right? So here if you see Virat, this is index one, and we have the first, that particular value is present in the first name column. Similarly, here if you see Kohli, it is the last name, right? Because we don't have three uh, values in it, uh, right? So that would be the last name, right? Similarly, over here in this record, we have three different values, right? Separated by a space. So we have all three, that is the first name, middle name, and last name. And here, if you see this, Salman, this is only we don't have like space separated data. We only have the one element over here. So that would be the first name by default. And these two would be null, right? So this is how we need to populate the data, right? So if you see, like the catch here is like the values are separated by values are separated by white space, right? So what we can do, we can use split. So like this solution, I'm solving this in the post grade. So you will learn a lot of inbuilt string functions, right? So here what we can use uh, split part, right? So what it takes is it takes the string and the separation. Here the separation is a void space and the which element of that particular split we want. So let's say if we write one, let me explain you how this split work basically. Let me erase these things. Okay. So if you see here, let's say we write Virat Kohli, right? So and we write split part. So here the separation is space, and here we can write the indexes. Okay, okay. I don't know what is happening over here. Let me erase this. Okay, so here we write the index. So this is so what this split part does is it creates an array. So here we will have the Virat and we will have Kohli over here. So this is index one, this is index two. So if we write over here one, then it will return Virat. If we write here two, then it will return Kohli. So we can use split part, right, for that. So if you see here, let me explain you the formula, then we can directly jump to the dviewer console and write the code. So the formula would be, let me write the formula. Okay. So for the first name, what we can do, we can simply write the split part on the celebrity name column and get the first index value. That would be the first name, right? So like in each of the record, if you see, if we get the first indexed value, that would be the first name, right? I think this is clear. For the middle name, so when the middle name is possible, like when can we get the middle name? If the length of the split part is equal to 3, right? If the length of this is 3, that means we can get the second position value. Like we can use the split part and get the second position value. Why second? Because here the indexing start from 2, sorry, 1. That's why like we can get the second position. So how we can get the length? So basically what we can use the array array length, right? We can use the array length, and in that, like we can pass the regular expression, basically regular expression split to array, like this we have that I will show you in the action, right? So we can get the second position value, and if the length is not 3, that means it is 2, right? In case of 2, like we won't be having the middle name, right? So and in case of 1 also, so by default value, like we will return null if this is not the case, right? Okay. So now the third case is, this is the second case, this is the first case. Third case is last name. So last name, when can we get the last name, right? Can we get the last name when the length is 1, length of that array is 1? No, we cannot get. That would be the first name only. Can we get when the length is 2? Yes. When the length is 2, we can fetch the second element, right, of that particular array. So that would be the last name. Can we get the last name when the length is 3? Yes, we can get by fetching the third indexed value of the array, right? So yes, I think this is the approach. What you can do, you can pause the video and try to solve this by yourself. You can like Google the basically these functions and how it works if you didn't understand the basically the syntax and all. So yes, let me proceed with the solution. So let me start. So select star from celebrities. So this is the table. Okay, let me zoom this a little bit and this also. Okay, awesome. So let me start with explaining you the split part function, right? So let's copy these things, and here we can write split part. The syntax is we need column, so we can write celebrity name, and we want it separated by space. Let's write 1. Okay, and so since we have 3 things, let's write 2 also, and let's write 3 also, right? Let me run this. So if you see, and let me select this column also to show you properly. Okay, now if you can see the split part 1, the first index value we got Virat, Narendra, Salman. For the part 2, we got Kohli, Damodardas, and here we don't have, so we have null over here or blank. Similarly, for the third part, we don't have over here anything. We have Modi over here. We have nothing over here. So similarly, we got this. So this we understood how the split part works. Now let's understand how we can do these things using the um, basically checking the length and all, right? So for that, what we can do, let me copy these things. So we can write select. So for getting the length and all, let me explain you. So we can use the regular expression. So we can write regex split to array. So basically this string, we are converting this into the array, right? So we need to pass the name of the column. So the name of the column is this. The separation is space, right? Let me run this. So, okay, I think here this should be, this is considering a string. This is not how we write. We write a column name. So let me write this. Okay. Now in the output, if you see, we have one basically the array, and here we have the values in it, right? Now the next thing is getting the length of this. So this is array, like we can simply write. So instead of this space, what you can write like this. If we have we got the same like answer, we can write plus this. Like if we have the more spaces in between, right? We got what we want. Now, if, in order to get the length, why length is required? So using length, we can get if the like the middle name is present or not, last name is present or not. So for length, what we can do, we can write array length. So this inbuilt function is there to get the length, and we can wrap all these things around this, and we want the length of the first element, that is this, whichever the first array or split we get. So if you see for the okay, let me remove, let me put this also over here. Okay. So if you see here, the length of this one is what? 2. The length of this is 3. The length of this is 1. So yes, I think now we are good in a position to start with the solution basically. So let me write select from select, okay, this table celebrities, and let me start with one by one. Let's start with the first name. So how we can get the first name? As I mentioned, we can use the split part, right? Let me write. So if we use the split part of this column, we want the separation is space, and we want the first element of each and every record. So this will give us the first name, right? Let me run this. If you see, okay, let me print this column also, so it will be easy to understand. Okay, now if you see here, we have the Virat, Narendra, and Salman. All these are present. Okay, so getting the middle name is not easy, basically, and the last name also. So you might be thinking that we could do this in order to get the middle name. Let me run this. See, here we are getting Kohli. This is not true, right? Because if this is nothing but like the last name, if there is a middle name, right, the length would be 3, right? Here in this case, if you see the length of the like the string is what? 3. So the middle name is correct. Here, since we don't have anything, so this doesn't matter. This would be null only. Here also we should get null. So how we can get the this data? So let me uh, write those things. So what we can do, we can write the case when statement. So we can write case when, and we can use the code, this code basically. Where is this code? Yeah, we can convert and check the length basically. So we can write, we want array length of this, the first element. If this is equal to, let me zoom out a little. So if this is equal to 3, then what we want this. Since here the indexing start from the 1, so we can get like this. Case when the length of this array is 3, then we want the third index value. And if this is not the case, then we can write in the else block. Else, we want to populate null, and we want to end this statement as middle name, right? So let me run this. Now, if you see, we got, okay. So this is, I have made mistake. So if the length is 3, there should be 2, right? Because we want the middle name. So if you see, here we got Damodardas top value, right? Because this is the index 2 element. Okay. Now this, the last name should be easy. Like we saw the formula, right? In order to get the last name, we will have two conditions. So let me write that. So we can copy these things right over here. So case when this element length is 3. So when the length is 3, we want the third indexed element. This is what we saw in the formula also, right? So if the length is 3, we want third index element. And again, we can write other when statement. Let me copy this. So we can write when the length is 2. If the length is 2, we want the last index element. This is what we saw in the formula also. When the length is 2, we want second element of the array. And if none of these two cases matches, then we want null over there, right? So let me write this as last name, and we can run this. Okay, we have error. This should not be there. Okay, now you can see this, we got the properly data basically. Here the length was 2, we got the second element. Here the length was 3, we got the third element. Here the length was like 1, so we got null over here. So yes, I think we have solved this problem. I will provide the create statement in the description section. You can try it by yourself. And if you want to check the pyspark solution, you can check the link in the description section, right? Let's meet in the next problem. Until then, bye.